Let's talk about having a positive body image. Okay, so here's my thought on this, okay, is whenever I think about people that are impactful in the world, I don't think about their body. I think about them as a whole, and then I think about their body, like second or third, okay? So for example, whenever I'm trying to think about people that are like, if you're trying to think about somebody that's brilliant, right? Someone that's beyond smart, I think about Albert Einstein, okay? And my thoughts of him is that he was so far more advanced than other people were of his time. And then second thought, he's distinguishable by his hair, okay? So someone else that I'm just like, wow, they are brilliant, right? I just love the way that it's Dr. Bruce Whittle, and he is one of the veterinarians that I had a tooth that was formed in my mule that had broke through his jaw. Hi, Christy. And that man, when I think about, wow, the impact, the first thing I think about Bruce is he calls himself just a veterinarian because he didn't have like a different degree in like the equine dentistry, but he is so knowledgeable that all these colleges bring him in to speak about that. So I think about his humble nature. That's what I think about. And then he is also like a fitness, health fanatic. And like, I think about him because he's done with a lot of the medical stuff, like modern medicine for humans. He realizes that there's some gaps in that, and he is taking like his own health into his own hands. And then if I want to think about his body, I've seen a before and after picture of him, and he's lost some weight. And so I'm like, oh, he's pretty fit. You know, just overall, that's what I think about him. I don't think about his face, his hair, or anything. Well, sometimes I wonder what color his hair was before it's gray. Okay? But I'm trying to show you, like, whenever I think of musicians that I love, like, I have this weird love for Al Green, okay? Well, he's the Reverend Al Green, but he doesn't sing religious stuff, okay? Well, I'm sure he does in his real life. But I love his soothing voice. And I think about other people that have this crazy voice, but I don't care what they look like. I care about what the words that they have and how they impact me, okay? When I think about people that are mean and horrible, I think about their actions, okay? I'm like, whoa, this person did horrible actions. I don't think about their body. You know, I can identify them based on what they look like, right? But I want you to think about, like, right now, and we're talking about positive body image. Okay, Simone Biles, here she is. She is under 5 foot tall, and she is so muscular. Could you imagine, let's do opposite role play, okay, of like Simone Biles being like, oh, I wish I was taller, or oh my gosh, I have all of these big muscles. I wish, you know, could you imagine her ever saying anything bad about herself? No, you look at her and she has so much passion for what she's doing that we don't care what Simone looks like, right? We're in awe of her abilities. Caitlin Clark, okay? Caitlin Clark, she's a short, tall girl, okay? She's like 6 foot tall, and she's just, you know, this is what color Caitlin Clark is. She doesn't have a lot of melanin, okay? And her hair's just as straight as can be. I mean, that would be, you know, she doesn't have big old boobies. And I'm all like, lucky girl. Ooh, lucky girl. But could you imagine her saying those things about her body? Could you imagine Caitlin Clark being like, oh, I wish I was darker. I wish my hair had body in it. I wish I had, bigger boobs. Or could you imagine that? Right? Whenever I think of Caitlin Clark, I think of, wow, she dedicated herself to something that she enjoys and loves, right? So I look at her as someone that's changing the face of women's sports. Not like the face, but like whenever she is getting sponsorship and who she chooses to get sponsorships from, and her saying no to different things is not just about the money, right? I view Caitlin Clark, she's inspirational to me about like, I need to dedicate more time to my craft, to my skill set, okay? That's what I think about with Caitlin Clark, okay? So today we're talking about positive body image. Could you, man, if those people, if Albert Einstein and Simone Biles and Caitlin Clark and Dr. Whittle, like he's the local guy, if they were hung up on what they look like instead of their craft, like we would have been worse off, to be wowed by their talents. So if you look at yourself and you're just like, I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm skinny, I'm lopsided, I'm not attractive, I'm all these things that, make those where they're not important by developing your skill sets. And now I'm not saying you need to be Caitlin Clark, you need to be Simone Biles, you need to be Albert Einstein. No, I have people in my life, whenever I think about them, I think of how loving they are. I think about how much I can depend upon them. I think about them as, oh, this person always takes my phone call and listens to me. I think about them as, this person's so grateful, and this person gives so much of their time and is just a wonderful person. So like, you need to, instead of focusing on, this negative view of yourself, you need to make it to where whenever people think of you, they think of the quality of your character before they think about your physical appearance, right? So like right now, you're listening to a woman that I don't have any makeup on. This is yesterday's, and like my eyes are getting more sensitive to mascara, so I'm always freaking a crybaby in the afternoon. So like I have probably some mascara left on from yesterday. I haven't brushed my hair because I did a podcast interview and I like to put my hair right on top. And I'm wearing a completely white t-shirt. Okay? But you're listening to me because of the quality of the words that are coming out of my mouth instead of my physical appearance. You see? So if you can give me quality, then you need to give yourself quality, right? You need to realize that you are more than this. You are what is here. So my positive body image is, be the person that your character is so loud with positiveness and with drive and with being a great person that is what people think about first. Okay? So that's your talk about having, and you know what's so funny is, a while ago, whenever I was talking about Caitlin Clark and trying to like think of what if I was Caitlin Clark and I wanted to talk bad about myself, so many people got off this live. They're going to get off of here and think that I was bashing Caitlin Clark. And she is someone that I like idolize, right? Because of her conservative nature, which I'm ready for her to go hands with some of those girls that are being rough on her, right? But she's changing the face of women's sports. And so I have a lot of love and respect for her ability to freaking practice. How much better would all of us be at anything if we practice more. And Caitlin Clark, that is the biggest thing I take from her, is like, yeah, she's a baddie, but she's a normal freaking person. She is a normal person that did unnormal amounts of practice. So that's what I take from her, is that I need to do more practicing. Okay. So there you go. I hope that this helps you be like, okay, I'm going to shut that voice up that's just spinning so much mental, that's so much junk in your head, talking about how you aren't this and you aren't that and blah, blah, blah. And just take all that energy, take all of that energy and put it towards just being the person that you are inside and putting that out to the world. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.